Professor Kethvar's chromatic scales rippled with anticipation as she surveyed the Xenobiology 301 classroom aboard the Galactic Educational Station Meridian. 23 students from 17 different species had gathered for today's practical examination on predatory behavioral analysis. The assignment had been clear: bring a specimen that exemplified the apex predatory traits of your homeworld. The Zephyrian delegation had transported a crystalline razor wasp, its body humming with lethal frequency modulators. The Corian twins had somehow acquired a shadow stalker, a creature that existed partially in subspace and could phase through solid matter to reach its prey. Most impressive was the Thackeray representative's contribution, a microsingularity swimmer that hunted by creating gravitational distortions in stellar plasma. Then there was Marcus Webb, the lone human in the cohort. He sat in the back corner of the amphitheater, a standard atmospheric containment unit resting on his desk. Through the transparent aluminum walls, something small and furry was curled into a tight ball, apparently asleep. Several students had already examined it with their various sensory organs, and the consensus was unanimous: the human had fundamentally misunderstood the assignment. Mr. Webb, Professor Kethvar's translator rendered her sibilant speech into Standard Galactic. Perhaps you could explain your selection? Marcus stood, running a hand through his dark hair. This is Whiskers. She's a domestic cat, Felis catus, approximately 3 years old. A ripple of what could only be described as interspecies laughter echoed through the classroom. The Zephyrian's razor wasp buzzed with what its owner later claimed was amusement. A domestic animal? Professor Kethvar's scales shifted to a pale yellow, curiosity mixed with concern. Mr. Webb, the assignment specifically called for a predator that demonstrates the pinnacle of evolutionary hunting adaptation. Marcus activated his holoprojector. I understand the confusion, Professor. But I'd like to present my analysis. The first hologram showed a detailed anatomical scan. Whiskers here possesses retractable claws with a tensile strength of 500 newtons per square centimeter. Her night vision operates effectively at light levels 6 times lower than most species in this room require. Her hearing range extends from 55 Hz to 79,000 Hz. A few students leaned forward. The numbers were not entirely unimpressive. But here's where it gets interesting, Marcus continued. Cats don't hunt because they're hungry. They hunt because they're programmed to hunt. A well-fed cat will still kill approximately 1,000 small animals per year. They're surplus killers. The hologram shifted to show behavioral analysis data. Their hunting success rate against small prey approaches 85%. For comparison, African wild dogs, pack hunters, achieve roughly 60%. Most of your apex predators hunt for survival. Cats hunt for entertainment. Professor Kethvar's scales darkened to deep purple. In the containment unit, Whiskers had awakened and was now staring directly at the Zephyrian's razor wasp with an intensity that made several students uncomfortable. Furthermore, Marcus gestured to a new set of data. Domestic cats have been responsible for the extinction of at least 63 species on Earth. Not through territorial competition or resource scarcity, but through recreational killing. They're an ecological weapon that purrs. The Shadowstalker's owner, ethereal Corian named Vex High, spoke through their harmonic resonator, but surely size matters in predatory efficiency. Marcus smiled. Whiskers weighs 4 kilograms. She's capable of leaping 6 times her body length horizontally and 3 times vertically from a standing position. Her reaction time is 20 milliseconds faster than mine. And she's been known to successfully hunt creatures up to rabbit size, animals that outweigh her by 300%. In the containment unit, Whiskers had begun that peculiar feline behavior known as chattering, a sound domestic cats make when observing prey they cannot reach. Every student in the room turned to look at her, and several took an involuntary step backward. But the most remarkable aspect, Marcus concluded, is the psychological component. Cats engage in prolonged play with their prey before killing. They appear to derive pleasure from the hunt itself. Most predators kill efficiently for energy conservation. Cats kill artistically. Professor Kethvar's scales had cycled through the entire visible spectrum and settled on a deep, thoughtful blue. Mr. Webb, your analysis suggests that humans somehow domesticated an apex predator? Not exactly, Marcus replied, watching as Whiskers began grooming herself with apparent indifference to the classroom full of alien observers. The current scientific consensus is that cats domesticated themselves. They moved into human settlements to hunt rodents, and we were useful enough to keep around. The class fell silent except for the low hum of life support systems and the distinctly unsettling sound of Whiskers purring. We kept the predators as pets, Marcus added quietly. And they let us.